KM presents The Semester of Kristina Miocheva, a look back at iconic creations. Hello everybody. So this semester I noticed that I focused particularly on one medium in graphic design, which is video production. So let me show you what I created. One of my favorite projects was for typography, and it was creating a karaoke video. On the photos you can see photos from the production and my model. You can see at the bottom right me trying to paint his feet. I'm not a big fan of feet, so my face says it all. Here is a little snippet of the video that you can see on my YouTube channel. Another video I created came from a derive from spatial design. Basically, I was guided in my destination of choice, which was Cape Town, and very inspired by Table Mountain. Therefore, I decided to create my 3D object based on Table Mountain and kind of narrate in my final result and in the video that unfortunately you cannot see right now. Kind of narrate all the movements that I made, all the actions of my body around this sculpture. Another video I made was to describe my digital landscape. This was an assignment from visual language, and my digital landscape is composed of so many screenshots of my conversations, and usually this would be moving, but don't worry, all the videos you would find below. Let's proceed. This is my tutorial I made for After Effects in my computer skills course. Very funky video you can also find on YouTube. My longest running project was certainly my quarantine readings. I conducted one video each day during a whole month, reading a chapter a day from the book that I wrote myself. And the enlarged video is actually the most popular one, of course, the one in the shower that you can find on YouTube. Let's proceed with typography. For typography, we had a lot of workshops, and I was assigned the letter P. Those are some of my favorite results. And then below you can see also other letters that I made for our specimen book, and also some digits like 2 and 0, the biggest picture. My final specimen is based on my favorite P, which you can find at the bottom left corner. It's a bit hard to read. The name of the specimen is total response time. In total, there are 12 letters and the @ sign. What's next? For digital media, I created a room archive asking my friends from around the world what do they like about their room, to send me a picture of their room and outside of their window. Also, I noted their age, their profession, and the date. And below you can see my exhibition, just filling up the template for digital media. My visual experiments were certainly very varied this semester. Here, for Open Lab, I decided to reinvent what the tarot card is, because tarot should apply to the times we live in now. So the first card represents the predator. You can see the praying eyes from the bushes, and those bushes in this nature actually I hand painted by myself and overlaid in Photoshop to create depth. We can see on the second card, which is the conspiracy, aliens, the flat earth, the Illuminati triangle, the radio waves, and all those mysterious symbols. The third card is the influencer. You can see the magnet and the hand attracting everything to it. And at the bottom, we can see basically a pattern that would be at the back of my stack of cards. This pattern I made from scratch, from an old drawing. More visual experiment. From left to right, we can see a lot of projects I did for visual language throughout this semester. From left, you can see all these patterns I found from my road from school to home. Those patterns are basically the irregularities of the tiles that I've encountered. And then I made long posters, kind of like wallpapers, to illustrate these findings, and my final result, a never-ending winding 360 road. My portraits are in the middle of this slide. Portraits made from my shadows, and also a portrait that I really love making from maps. This is actually one of my favorite results, the one with blue. On the right, we can see the landscapes. This is my home landscape made out of my laundry, actually my laundry representing the earth, the mountains, the grass, the fields, the sky. And at the bottom, the colors of my aura, my inner landscape. The colors of my mood rearranged in the sink with watercolors and made into flowers. A little experiment with this exact flowers. For Think lecture, we were focused this semester on making visual essays. So those are my 4 essays. One on punk culture, one on how gay people are represented in popular media and advertisement. And on the bottom, I'm trying to connect utopian architecture with the concepts of regenerative architecture, mainly focused on connected communities. Those are most of my experiments and drawings I did in the park for prototyping. I just always brought my watercolors with me and decided to be inspired by Emil Nolde. His style of painting is what I started with in the school, and I decided to go forward with it. That's it for visual language. Is that all? Nope, that is not all. Let's see what's hiding here. Well, this is actually my biggest assignment, the Zoom assignment. This assignment was largely inspired by a Chinese philosophy called Yu Liao, and it's a philosophy of intuitive creation without planning and without organizing. For my final result, I made an instructional video combining all my 5 experiments, and also you can find that on YouTube. Another 2 experiments I conducted parallel to this is actually spontaneous word creation and spontaneous voice and sound creation after a deep meditation. My conclusions of the semester. Those were the comments that the teachers gave me last semester. I will let you read them a bit. And the comments that I've kind of tried to embrace this semester and learn from. And those are my lessons combined with one of my spatial design results, where I tried to increase the volume of my body in a limited space. So I think I made a lot of progress in different software, the Adobe Suite, also in video creation software. I actually aimed for my results not to be perfect, but I allowed myself space to make mistakes and learn from them. I definitely deepened my research, which is also where Yu Liao came from, and I worked from an initial concept that I enriched along the way. I noticed this way of making in my tarot card creation and also in my quarantine readings that I enriched with profile series and so on and so forth. And one thing that I'm mostly impressed from this semester is that I actually produced a lot. I was focused and centered, even though there was little supervision. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation, and I hope to see you again. Please feel free to see the videos below.